Joining me now, Congressman Louis Gohmert. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, the Republican Study Committee, the House Freedom Caucus. Congressman, always good to have you here.
Great to be with you.
Let's start with your friend, Rod Rosenstein. He is now subpoenaed. He's the target of the House after all these months of delay and stonewalling congressional oversight. Finally, your leaders are getting, I guess, upset enough to actually assert their absolute authority. I guess that's what it is, in oversight over the Justice Department. The Justice Department has told you all to go to hell time and time again. Why getting mad only now? I know you've been angry for quite a time.
Yeah, some of us have been, and you've been leading the cheers on that, and appropriately. But I'm just glad somebody is joining us in being upset that will allow us to do something. If you remember, Lois Lerner, Koskinen, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch, we've had so many people come up here, Hillary Clinton, and lie. And like you were talking with Andy Biggs a moment ago, I mean, until somebody is held accountable on these things, they're going to keep doing it. And I believe Rosenstein came up here and lied to Congress, and he needs to be held accountable for that. But you know what? It ain't going to be Mueller that does the investigation. It's going to take a special counsel to investigate Rosenstein. And when we do subpoena him, and let's face it, he has been obstructing the investigation into what went on for a long, long time. But, of course, he and Mueller, Weissman, a number of them were involved in the previous Russia investigation. Right. Mueller needs to be investigating himself and Rosenstein, but that doesn't work out so well. We need somebody else to look into him. But in the meantime, what can we do? We should be holding people in contempt for refusing to produce the things that we've been asking for and been what I think is much more than patient. And as I found out when I was a felony judge, you put one lawyer in jail for even one day for contempt of court, the rest of them come along pretty nicely after that.
It improves their attitude, does it?
It's a real good attitude adjustment. People go, wow, this judge really means business. And that's what Congress needs to do, or we're going to keep having these games played. And I know, and Jim Jordan has talked about that. They're playing a game of hoping to get beyond the election, the Democrats take over, and any crimes they may have committed in the Justice Department may be able to go away. But we cannot let that happen. This is too important. And by the way, you brought up the speaker race. I saw that Kevin McCarthy, our majority leader, had filed a bill to build the wall. We've been pushing for that for 2 years. We've been trying to get amendments to the floor for a vote. Andy Biggs, in fact, that you just had on, has had a bill that he filed to pay for all of the wall. And so I'm glad to hear that our leadership, our elected leadership, is coming along and getting on board with Andy and a lot of the rest of us now.
When you say
that's nice to see, even though we will not have a vote before now in the election. Nice to file a bill like that now.
You know, and he, you know, he is Paul Ryan's cohort. He is also, you know, a lot of people missed what your speaker said after he had Kevin McCarthy had made his announcement about the bill for the border wall funding. He said there'll be quite a fight after the midterms. You know, I mean, there's a level of silliness on the leadership of your conference that I can't even begin to comprehend.
Well, you've been talking about it for at least 2 years. You've been leading on pointing that out. But I can promise you this, just based on my years here and seeing things put off to December year after year after year, everything we put into December from September, every time there has not been a fight. It's been a massive rollover and give the Democrats and the Democrats in the Senate whatever they want. That's what's happened every year, and I kind of think there won't be much more of a fight now. That's why they put it off to December. I personally think the best Christmas present we could give Americans is to be here fighting against the stuff they sent us here to fight on Christmas Day. What a great present, because then we wouldn't be rolling over for the Democrats in the Senate over and over.
You're exactly right. We're out of time, but I have to say it's in Texas, I believe the expression is, it's a hell of a note that the guy talking about a fight is the guy who resigned his job 8 months ago and is still in the office. You know, that's also a hell of a note. Congressman,
It is.
great to see you. We got to run,
And it's one heck of a note that the guy Mueller, the people he's prosecuting, we didn't even need special counsel to do that. We could have had a U.S. attorney do all of that.
Congressman, I appreciate you being with us.
Great to visit with you, Lou.
Good
Always.
to see you.
Joining us now from the World AG Expo in California, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committees, Devin Nunes, is with us. Rod Rosenstein, this is the guy that recommended the firing of Comey. This is the guy that appointed Mueller, signed the final FISA warrant application, the third renewal. And this is a guy that Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, and James Baker, Congressman, all say talked about wearing a wire against President Trump in the hopes of invoking the 25th Amendment. He owes us answers to that.
He owes us answers. He's not coming tomorrow, which I think should be very telling. But the story is that he might possibly wanted to come and have a cup of coffee with Chairman Goodlatte. Well, that's not acceptable. He needs to come and testify under oath. If you look at the story tonight, Sean, that's breaking in the Washington Post, you have both McCabe and Rosenstein fighting over what happened at the time of when he wanted to wear a wire, whether or not he wanted to wear a wire, and who was responsible for what. So clearly what this is this is the investigators who have no one watching them, no one to investigate them, and they're running amok. Running amok so much that they won't even come and testify to Congress. It's pretty pathetic.
They're both arguing over who should have recused himself. Frankly, both of them should have recused themselves now that we know what we know. The president said he'd declassify and send out the unredacted FISA applications, the bulk of which the information came from the phony dossier that Hillary paid for, and the FISA and the fraud on the FISA court. Where are those declassified documents that the president said he'd release? Where are the 302s between Christopher Steele and Bruce Orr?
Well, the same thing is true, Sean. The same people who are arguing tonight on the pages of the Washington Post whether or not which one should recuse themselves, right? So this was over a year ago when the special counsel was appointed. They're supposedly arguing in front of Mueller who should be recused. And like you said, they both should have been recused. Those same people, or at least the Deputy Attorney General, who will not come to Congress to testify under oath, is the same person who is blocking the American people from being able to see this information that we in the Congress have been asking for now a couple months for the president to declassify. The president actually said, I want this immediately declassified without redactions, and then shortly after that, the Deputy Attorney General convenes a meeting to convince the president, well, we need to have the IG look at this. And that's where we stand right now with declassification.
We need this
this is a whole new escalation.
It can't take 18 more months, Congressman.
I don't think we need an IG report, Sean. I think it's ridiculous, Sean.
I agree.
We need an IG to do anything.
I agree with you.
Okay, well, I don't have a problem with IG. I want this stuff declassified.
I agree wholeheartedly, and frankly, a real special counsel ought to be appointed. The FBI director saying today he won't say whether or not the president is being wiretapped today. Are you kidding me?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Some of that questioning goes a little different directions, but let's just go back to the main point here that we really need to know at the start of the special prosecutor, special counsel. When remember, people are losing sight of this. The chief investigators at the time had no evidence of Trump campaign colluding with Russians. And so why did we have a special counsel in the first place?
It looks like Lisa Page said they had nothing in 9 months. So they started immediate leak strategy so they can create the atmosphere of something that never took place. It is outrageous. Chairman, you've been amazing. Thank you for being with us.